Hello everyone, welcome back to the Will the Reaper channel. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the difficulty of fully completing each FNAF game from borderline impossible to easy. There's a couple of these that I did not include because either I haven't played them yet or I haven't tried 100%ing each of the games. But we have basically the core originals, and so I'm going to be ranking how hard it is to 100% them. That means doing all the custom nights, getting all the stars. You know, a lot of the games you have to get stars and stuff. Or for FNAF World, you have their trophies and whatnot. So let's get down to it. So FNAF 1. So I'm gonna put this in hard. Because first off, beating Night 6 can be difficult, but beating 420 mode is extremely difficult. Now there is a strategy you can do. There's this YouTuber called Ambience or whatever. You should go check him out. And he basically dumbs down each FNAF game's 420 mode or Ultimate Night or whatever. And basically the strategy you could do, this is actually a pretty well known strategy, is you just stall Freddy in camera 4B or 2B, right when he's by your office, you just stall him then. And then you just close your monitors, check the left door, check the right door, go look at Freddy again. The only problem is at Foxy, because you need to get a bit lucky, depending on how aggressive Foxy is. And for that alone, for the luck that you need for Foxy, I'm putting it in hard. I'm not putting it in extremely difficult, because it's really just luck-based. You can just keep going until you get, lucky, It shouldn't take more than, 3 or 4 tries to beat the night with the strategy I just said. But it's also not, easy or somewhat difficult, because you still have to constantly be on guard with Freddy and Bonnie and Chica. Okay, FNAF 2, I'm putting in extremely difficult. Yeah, the amount of luck you need to just... Ooh, actually... I'm going to change it to... I do want to change it to borderline impossible, because yes, 10-20 mode in FNAF 2, it's not the hardest task in the whole FNAF series, but you need so much luck, right? The skill aspect, you don't really need a lot of skill for it, right? You just have to have your wits about you. But there's just so much luck involved that you could just keep playing this for hours and still not beat it. Same YouTuber I just said, Ambience, he said that this night is one of the most difficult because you have people like Toy Bonnie who can stall your camera, right? When you put your mask on when he's in the vent, he could stall your mask for anywhere, I think, from 3 to 6 seconds, right? So if you have the 6 seconds, it's so bad. People like Balloon Boy, when you put your mask on, he might not leave your vent for a whole 5 seconds. And then you have to worry about if Foxy's in the hallway. You can't leave your mask on too long, because Foxy's easily the worst character in the whole game. He just easily ruin your run. And then also the music box is constantly ticking down at an extremely fast pace. So I'm going to put that in borderline impossible just off the amount of sheer luck you need. In FNAF 1, you just have to worry about Foxy, but in FNAF 2, you have to get lucky with a whole bunch of things. And it's not a good time. I've only ever beaten it once. FNAF 3 is going to get extremely difficult. Because you have to beat Nightmare Mode, which is already pretty difficult. And then you have to beat Aggressive Nightmare Mode. Now, the thing with Aggressive Nightmare Mode is that, for whatever reason, there's this cool mechanic where in Aggressive Nightmare Mode, if you get jump scared by an animatronic, phantom animatronic, they only jump scare you once through the rest of the game. So, for example, if you get jump scared by Balloon Boy or Freddy or Foxy, they won't jump scare you the rest of the night, which is a very cool mechanic, and it makes it a whole lot easier to play. The only problem is Springtrap himself is so unbelievably fast. If he's in the vent and you get there in a millisecond, that's not enough. That's really not enough. It's almost like you have to pre-seal the vent in order for him to not kill you. It takes so much luck and so much skill to just bait him out and keep him at bay and pray that you don't get jump scared by any animatronics. But again, the fact that they can only jump scare you once per night is pretty cool. But you still have to keep your wits about you. But yeah, extremely difficult. I'm not putting it in borderline impossible. I'm not putting it anywhere below there. It's extremely difficult to be aggressive nightmare mode. Okay, now this is a bit controversial, but this gets borderline impossible. Now, the game itself, FNAF 4 is my favorite game in the whole franchise. I love it. The first 8 nights are easy, right? You have your 5 nights. I think you have your 6th night. You have your 7th night, and then you also have 420 mode by clicking on Nightmare. When you go the animatronic section, you click on his bow tie, you get the 420 mode. 420 mode is pretty difficult, especially with Nightmare. He's super aggressive. But the reason why this gets borderline impossible is that to 100% the game, you need 4 blue stars. I think 3 or 4 blue stars, right? To get all 10 stars. I think there's 10. And in order to get a blue star, there's a challenge section in the extras menu, which is Insta Foxy, Mad Freddy, and Blind Mode. Now, each one of these by themselves is already extremely difficult. You need to keep Foxy at bay to be 420 mode. That's how you could, as long as Foxy doesn't enter your closet, I'm not going to lie, 420 mode is not bad at all. You just got to get a little bit lucky with Nightmare. Then Mad Freddy, they just spawn unbelievably fast. It's so difficult. And then Blind Mode is probably the worst one of them all because you accidentally might misclick on certain things. And if you misclick, you'll probably die. Now, each one of these is very hard. But to get the last blue star, you have to play 420 mode with all 3 challenges activated, which is just in the realm of impossibility. I don't know if anyone has ever done it. I think I saw one person do it on YouTube, but it is just so difficult. That is such an impossible challenge to do. I could never do that. That is so difficult to do. So FNAF 4, the rest of the game is somewhat easy and I love it, but just getting the night where you have to beat all 3 challenges on 420 mode, it's impossible. Okay. FNAF World's gonna get easy. It can be difficult, trying to beat the rainbow and everything else like that, but it's really just grinding, right? The second you start your game, all you have to do is just go to the Halloween graveyard and get all the Halloween characters and stuff. So it's really not bad. Actually, no, you know what? No. I'm going to get rid of easy. No FNAF game is just somewhat easy to 100%. So this is going to get somewhat difficult because actually I take it beating the rainbow can be very difficult. Because you do need to get lucky depending on the strategy you use. For example, I think the best strategy is the dagger strategy. You have a 1 in 10 chance of throwing a dagger that will deal 99,999 damage, and I think all you need is 10 or 12 of them to kill the rainbow. So if you have, I think, Nightmare Bonnie and Purple Guy with you, they both deal dagger damage, and so you do have to get lucky, but it is a fast-paced fight. However, it's also, you have to do a bunch of other things to get all the trophies. You have to do the clock strategy, you have to do the fisherman trophy, all these other things. So I'm not saying it's easy. None of these games are easy to 100% complete. But regarding every other game, FNAF World definitely takes the cake for being the easiest to complete. It is still somewhat difficult, but not too difficult. Okay, sister location is going to get extremely difficult. Now, to beat everything every night in the game, it's not too bad. But the last night, the Golden Freddy mode, I think it's called Golden Freddy mode, much like FNAF 2, is unbelievably difficult. The reason why it's not getting borderline impossible is because apparently FNAF Sister Location's custom night is the only night in the entire game. The nights are the only nights in the entire game where it is only skill-based. That is, every second, every few seconds, the animatronics rotate. They all have a pattern to them. And if you can study that pattern second by second by second by second, every single night is the exact same. There is no luck involved. There's not a single bit of luck involved in FNAF Sister Location, which I did not know at first until I watched, again, that YouTuber Ambience, until I watched his video. Very, very interesting. I love that it's skill based, which makes it not borderline impossible, but still extremely difficult. But again, if you can memorize their patterns completely for every single second, you will probably beat the whole game, which is pretty nice. So sister location is getting extremely difficult. Now, Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator is also getting extremely difficult. I think just beating the game itself, even with just one or two animatronics, is extremely difficult. But having to beat the entire game, completing it with all, I think, 5 animatronics coming after you. I think there's like 4 or 5. I kind of forgot. That's extremely difficult. Now, it's not borderline impossible, because there are, I believe, certain patterns you can do to kind of manipulate the game, but it requires a lot of luck, because when they spawn in, when the animatronics spawn in or teleport, they can literally go anywhere on the board the second they spawn in. So they can spawn right next to your vent and just instantly kill you. But you do have the equipment to help you out with doing your tasks and stuff. But I think the game is just so difficult. I've never been. I haven't even gotten past night 3 with salvaging both animatronics. I really just don't know what it is. But I feel like if I were to truly study and learn the game, I'd be able to beat it. But I think it's just extremely difficult. Ultimate Custom Night is going to take the cake for borderline impossibility. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's undisputed most difficult challenge in the entire franchise. 50-20 mode. Yeah, there's just so much luck involved. It's crazy. But yeah, that's going to do it for my FNAF tier list of ranking the completion of each FNAF game. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you guys agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments, because I feel like a lot of you guys kind of have differing opinions, which is very nice to know. But yeah, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.